And if anybody has a question, you can ask during the session. I'm not usually good memorizing or remembering to go back up there and hit the chat box, but if you want to type something in and then tell me you sent the chat, I'll answer your question in real time. All right, let's get going here. It took enough of your time. Everybody else is here. Yeah, if they're not, they can wait. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Albert Clark, and as I mentioned a little while ago, we're a new premier partner with Exit Realty throughout the country. And one of the big reasons they picked us as their preferred email marketing engine is the long history that we have in the industry. And as I mentioned, I built the first ever electronic newsletter 20 years ago when things like Prodigy were around, CompuServe, AOL, what else? Genie, all those email addresses that agents had, they didn't know what to do with it. So we built them in a e-newsletter, and I've been stuck in that business ever since. Literally for 20 years, I'm doing the same thing, obviously with different technology, new improved features, but we've got something that you have not seen before, and that's why Exit wanted you to take a look at this. So we all know real estate's a numbers game. So what we're going to do is help you improve those numbers. Now, when I'm in front of a large crowd of agents or a small crowd, I'll ask them, why can't you do the best possible job of staying in touch? And they all come back and they say, Al, I don't have a system. I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't know what's working these days. So we know what's working these days for our 5,000 subscribers, because they want us to help them build that pipeline, insulate that pipeline, get insurance on the pipeline. That down on the left-hand corner there, NAR came out with a stat a couple of weeks ago saying 13% of consumers will reuse the same agent they used for another transaction in the past. Only 13%. So if I was an agent, I don't know how I get out of bed in the morning knowing I'm leaving all this money on the table because I'm not doing the best possible job of staying in touch. So that's what we're all about today. And this is one of my core beliefs right now. Everybody in the industry is trying to get you guys likes and follows and shares and those things like that. But just because you've got numbers like that of people that shared you or that actually liked you on social media, that doesn't mean they have allegiance with you. So you got to go a little bit further and take that that introduction, if you will, that early stage relationship, and blow it out through the door with allegiance from your readers and your clients and your prospects and your friends, as well as we're going to help you become that advocate that they need. Okay, realtors need to become advocates, watching out for what's going on with their clients, prospects, and friends. And we're going to show you how we do this better than anybody else out there. So let us portray you as a homeowner advocate, because that's what consumers need. So in working with all these agents all over the country, we get on the phone and we say, okay, where's your database? And they say, well, Al, I really don't have a database. I mean, I've got data. It's here, 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 and here, but it's not in one place. So what we do is we work with the agent. We go into all these locations and probably 100 more, export all the email addresses that you have, clean them up, run them through filters, dedupe them, take out the bad email addresses. We massage it. We make sure they're good email addresses. We pay an outside service to verify all your email addresses. And then once we put them in the system, they become what we call exclusive. We'll get into that in a couple seconds. But here's where we sit down with the agent on day one. And literally, we could start doing this for you guys later on this afternoon. Excuse me. With the idea being that you've got contacts all over the place. You just don't know where they are. So we're going to go into everywhere and find them and clean them all up. So on the left-hand side, you'll see what we call was one of our exit templates. The newsletters go out every 2 weeks to an unlimited number of contacts that we put in the system for you, or that you put in yourself. You could always enroll extra people. You can add them one at a time. So the newsletter every 2 weeks is going to be set to roll with 7 or 8 articles that we write. Now, we could bring in your personal content, such as listings, just solds, open houses, testimonials. We could bring your mortgage guy in. We could have lots of conversations about how much personal content you can add into here. And we'll do that for you. We don't expect you to be a publisher. Okay, so we know what works in the eyes of the American consumer. We know what they're getting interested in because we send millions and millions of these out every month. So we know what gets clicked on. So there's probably 3 or 4 more articles even below the flag line there, which will show you some live ones pretty soon. So what we say is our newsletters are nothing but a conversation starter. I'm not going to sit here as president of the company and tell you that we're going to deliver for you oodles of hot leads, right? That's for other companies. I'm going to deliver for you conversation starters, a chance to get intelligence on what's going on inside of your database, and a chance to build an allegiance with that email address. Okay, so the idea is that these things all add up together. Yes, we do generate leads. Yes, we do generate top of mind awareness. But what we really want to do is be a conversation starter. So you could pick up the phone or fire off an email knowing what these people just read 35 seconds ago. Now, I emphatically mentioned 35 seconds because that's how long it takes for the agent to get an alert that somebody in their database clicked on this, downloaded that, looked at this article, shared this article. Everything I'm showing you from here going forward is tracked. So you know who got what, and you're going to be able to get intelligence on what's going on inside of your database. Here's another one, Jennifer Barnes. That first article you see, you'll see this first article in a couple other scenes. And here's why this is important. It's our #1 most clicked article. What's sold down the street, winning for how much? Everybody wants to know what's sold down the street. And if they have to go to Zillow to find it, they're not coming back to your website, okay? So we're going to go into, if you have it, RPR, Realtors Property Resource. I believe everybody has it in the country. And we're going to get some more value out of that because we're going to put what's sold reports just like this right on your newsletter. We're going to go in and manually take these PDFs out of RPR and build an article just like this. You're going to get a lot of people clicking this, and you're going to find out 35 seconds later who clicked it. And now you wouldn't pick up the phone and say, hey, Betty Jane, I see you picked up my newsletter and opened it up 35 seconds ago, but you can, right? Because that's how fast we work. So all the agent has to do is work with us to open up your RPR. You give us a bunch of zip codes that you want to, be an expert in, click the button, and then opens up the 7, 8, 9-page report on everything that's sold in that area. Now, here's another one, what we call this predictive content. These are articles that we put in that will be manually put in. You're going to have to ask for them, okay? We don't do this automatically. But here's one of our newer article types. It's called the Small Business Showcase. What it is the agent helping small mom and pop businesses on Main Street or whatever you want to call your downtown to recover from the pandemic. Okay, so we're all about helping small businesses. We like to, frequent the store. What we want you to do, though, is to give us 5 or 6 or 7 every 2 weeks. Give us some small businesses, and we're going to build the directory like you see on the right-hand side there. So all this is a great PR tool that agents can use. There's no charge for any of this extra content ever. In everything I'm going to show you today, there's no extra charge for content or going over 500 members, that sort of stuff. So this is Exit Realty Green Team. They just did a testimonial for us, which I believe I sent to everybody this morning or at least a couple hours ago. So the idea here is, hey, let's get together and help small mom and pop businesses. On this next one, you're going to see when we say we want you to become an advocate for your readers. Most of you don't know how to do that or don't have the tools. Well, just allow us to do it for you, okay? So see what recalled products we have in the home. Every day or two, there's a couple million of product A, B, C, or D that's getting recalled because they're dangerous products. Now, you may see this, but I doubt that you go into the Consumer Product Safety Commission every 2 hours and download what's new. We do it. Why? Because your clients, prospects, and friends might have some of these dangerous products in the home. And it's a relief to be able to click one button and see all the things that have been recalled. Over on the right, when there's stuff going on with the IRS and identity crisis or identity theft, we cover all those areas too. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're watching out for what's going on with the clients, prospects, and friends in your database. We do all this for you. And as you've seen so far, probably, you're going to be asking, well, where's the chicken pot pie recipes and where's the moving day tips? We don't have those. We feature hard-hitting, impactful information that you're not going to get anywhere else, okay? Trust me on that one. We've got a fire in our belly for good content. And when we say good content, we mean predictive content. Look at that article on the right there, true or false. I'll just ask you one question. Wouldn't you want to talk to 20 people that are trying to find down payment money that just read that article, in the last hour? We put those kinds of articles in the newsletter every other edition that are what we call predictive. When somebody opens up that article, they're probably interested in finding down payment money. And how about this one? Your biggest complaint these days is lack of inventory or lack of good inventory. Well, 7 out of 10 homeowning families, you guys know right now, have no idea how much equity they have in their home. They know it's good, but they don't know how much. They don't know how much they're going to be able to get out of this house to put into the next house. So they're not listing their house, right? You want them to. You're in front of them every 2 weeks, giving them all this great information and all these powerful widgets. Why can't they put their house on the market? Because you need to give them that magic number. Ask them, well, obviously, we're going to know who's interested in it because we'll tell you who's going to click open that article, right? 35 seconds later, you're going to find out that you've got a whole bunch of people that might need some quick CMAs. Again, it's a conversation starter. And what we're doing is signaling back to you, these are the people in your database you should probably reach out to. Now, so far what I've told you and everything I'm going to show you from now on is still exclusive. And what we mean by that is when we put in the email addresses for you in the system, we make it what we call exclusive. No other agent using HomeActions anywhere in the country can attack your database. So email addresses can only be used once. And when I do demos, let's just say physically at an office where there's 20, 25 agents and 10 or 12 of them are going to eventually buy our program, there's always 1 or 2 that want to get their contacts in first. Why? Because in some offices, there's a lot of email addresses that overlap. Agents would have, 5 agents would have the same email address that they're trying to curry favor with. But that doesn't happen with us because when we build your database, even if you want to do it today, we'll put it in the system. It goes in the order in which we build it for you. Okay. So you're going to lock up all your email addresses because in some large cities, there's parts in New Jersey, we don't even sell this anymore because we've got the whole area tied up. All the email addresses are gone. Okay. So we're very good at getting this first mover advantage for you. Now, didn't mention social media yet, but everything we write for you, let's just suffice to say, in 10 seconds, it could be up on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and anywhere else. We can short code everything for you. We've got over 1,400 articles in our library, so you'll never run out of content for good social media, right? We all know that most agents are wasting time in the morning, an hour or so, trying to post stuff on Facebook that's either irrelevant or just not actionable. Everything I'm showing you so far can be blasted up on your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, your blog, your website. So we help you repurpose, if you will, the content. And here's an example how the Exit Realty Green team puts their newsletter on social media every week. Okay, every 2 weeks, I'm sorry. And they're going to know who's clicking and how many people are clicking on that total open on the newsletter. We've got all the data for them. Now, the fun part is watching your newsletter statistics after we launch for you. So every 2 weeks, you're going to get what we call a 4-day email. And that says, hey, in 4 days, your newsletter's going out the door. Do you want to have HomeActions add anything? Listings, just solds, open house, testimonials, mortgage information, whatever you have, we'll build it for you. And then we push the newsletter out. And then the fun part is just logging in and actually seeing all these live stats building. Okay, all these bar charts and pie charts building. And as you can see on this screen, for this realtor, we sent out 1,336 emails. And so far, now this was a couple months ago, probably when I pulled this, but 615 opened at least once. But look at that number to the right there, 1,016 total opens. What I'm going to tell you is that half of your readers are going to open your newsletter multiple times. We know that because the only way you can open somebody's newsletter a second, third, and fourth time is if you save the email in their inbox. And any smart agent on this call is going to know if you can get your name stuck as a realtor, stuck in your client's stream, they go up and down their email 500 times a day like you and I do. That's impression, 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 impression. Okay, that's what we're going to deliver for you. Recognizable and trackable impressions. Over on the right-hand side, 58 total trigger articles. That's 58 articles that somebody opened your newsletter, clicked on the articles, and we put tracers on them. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, if everybody wants to know where home values have been or what's sold down the street, et cetera, we track that. All you have to do is hit the word who, and what's going to pop open is everybody that clicked that article. Everybody that wants to know what's sold down the street, okay? So again, conversation starters. I'm not using the word hot leads. Okay. This is what we call our engagement report. Now, this agent's been around for, I think, maybe about a year now. And you could see all the tracking we do. We show them who your heavy hitters are, who's opening up all the articles once we send the newsletter. And this is a great way to get that conversation going. And the box that I X'd out there is obviously because we don't want anybody stealing email addresses, but you couldn't anyway because they're already enrolled. But anyway, so where should you place your focus with our predictive metrics and get these conversations going? Now, your fiercest competitor these days are coming up, and we all know that the trouble that Zillow is trying to cause in the industry by simply saying that if you want content, you want neighborhood information, come to us. We've got the best. We've got the whole country covered. Well, not any longer. So if these are the reasons why people run to Zillow, what if we can go out and get all this stuff for you and we put it inside your newsletter and inside your website, inside your blog, throughout all your social media? Well, we did that. It's called Neighborhood 360. And it's an article that's in every newsletter. And I sent everybody on this call one, I believe last night or this morning. It's a widget, which is a powerful, computer-backed program that allows your reader to pull up information on 150 million street addresses. Now, Gary, how many street addresses do you think there are in the country? Gary, you still there? Gary's on mute. That's all right.
How many? Probably.
How many are there? How many? You're the neighborhood expert, aren't you? I'm told.
How many? What was the question? You said how many houses are there?
How many street addresses are out there in the country? Everywhere. How many front doors?
I couldn't even specify, bro.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Right in front of me. 360.
No,
150 million.
Yeah. Now when you guys say that you're a neighborhood expert, here's what we mean. So let's assume that your client is looking at one of your listings at 59 Hillock Woods. When they open up the widget, they type in the address, boom, you get an immediate text and email letting you know who wants to dig into 59 Hillock Woods. So look at this information over on the right, all these demographics. Then we have information on the building, recent sales nearby. Now, these aren't comps. These are just recent sales. Then we go into rent versus own, the average tax bill, tax information, cost of living to move from one part of the country to this part of the country. We know what things cost. Income levels in the neighborhood. Is it a high wealth neighborhood? Then we get into the schools. We don't tell them which schools they're going to go to. We just tell them where the schools are, and they dig into these blue buttons, and that will give them the school scores and what school their child will go to. Then we get into what we call our amenities section, which is a Yelp inspired and Yelp reviewed, if you will, directory of everything that's going on in the neighborhood, about 3.5 miles radius to that house. Okay, so where are we going to go for happy hour and fine dining? You'll notice everything has got Yelp reviews with it and Yelp stars. Where are we going to go for perks and get our coffee and donuts and bagels? Where's my Starbucks? I have to have Starbucks by the new house. Okay. Gee, there just happens to be one mile and a quarter down the street. So we've got all those covered. Then we get into what kind of stores are available there, right? If you're into, the nature foods and natural foods, you want to go to Whole Foods, right? Well, there happens to be one 2.8 miles away. This is all great information that the consumers want to have. They just have trouble getting it all in one spot, but you provide this to them in their newsletter. Now, I guess everybody out there loves pets, right? Because half of your clients have pets. You may not like pets, but you can't say that because half of your clients have pets. So what you know is an undying love for pets. You know where the Petcos are. You know where the animal hospitals are. You know where the dog walkers are. We've got them all wrapped up into this report, okay? Then if you're into physical fitness, you want to live near a gym. If there's only a gym 10, 15 miles away, maybe that house isn't going to work for you, okay? But again, we track all this. We update it every time there's new news. And then where are we going to go to get our tattoos removed, fingernails done, toenails done, whatever it is, where are the beauty salons? And then what I'd like you to do right now is send me a text at that number below, because I'm going to challenge you. You're going to send me an address and send me the full address with zip code, put your email address in there, text it to me at that number, and I'll send you back one of these really, really cool reports for your listing, for your house, whatever it is. you're going to want to do what we call a deep data dive into any neighborhood, any house. We've got the tools, and you can have this all over your social media too. So there's my text number, 570-510-3507. Just send me a text and tell me what's going on. Now, another widget we have is the CoreLogic AVM. Tell me what my house is worth. This is probably the best lead you can get, is when somebody takes a busy day and says, hey, Al, can you tell me what my house is worth? I have no idea. So they come in, type in their information, push a button, generates the report. You see the report over on the right. You'll see why they want the report, for what address and who it is. And then the idea is that you just reach out to them for a quick CMA, right? Or a full length CMA, whatever you want to do. But these people need help understanding what they're going through right now. You're the advocate that's going to help them manage all this stuff, okay? And again, no chicken pot pie recipes, no moving day tips, nuh-uh. So that's what that comes with Neighborhood 360. So at the end of the day, we know what to send, we know when to send it, we know how to send it. It's got to be thin. And the reason is that about 68% of all these emails and 68% of all the emails you guys are sending are getting opened on mobile devices. So you can't put the 20 megabyte picture of the new house there anymore. It's going to get caught in spam filters. We know how to filter it down in size and get it in the newsletter. But the idea is that we know how to do all this stuff. We've been doing it for years. And if you sincerely believe, like we do, that every agent can do a better job of staying in touch, somebody's going to get the call, though. Here's what I mean. The average consumer out there knows 6 realtors, is getting hit on by 6 realtors, either by email, phone, or delivery, whatever. 6 agents out there, one's going to get the call and the other 5 think they will. But the call's not going to come to the other 5 because somebody did a better job of getting into that house on a frequent basis with good content that's actionable. That's what we call an exit realtor. They understand this. They're not good at programming. They're not good at spam filters. Maybe good at selling houses. That's okay. We're not. We don't do that stuff. But we do have guys that understand spam filters and the technology and the CAN-SPAM Act reporting, all the federal regulations. We know how to do all that stuff. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to subscribe to our program. And little of this was mentioned in the email you got from Exit headquarters. There's 2 ways to sign up for our program. There's a monthly payment plan and a quarterly payment plan. Now I'm going to try to make this pretty easy for you. First off, the $99 setup fee we normally charge, we can't charge that to Exit agents. That's been wiped off due to our contract. So let's take the $99 off the table. We're asking the Exit agents to spend $65 a month, not $79, the regular price, $65 per month for as many months as you want. Cancel at any time, okay? None of these lifelong contracts. Just tell us you want to cancel and you can walk away. The second way you can subscribe to this, so that's plan A. That's $65 to get in the game. $65, we're going to build your database, custom graphics, launch your first 2 newsletters, because everything goes out every 2 weeks, right? So you're going to have a month's worth of data. And then you could say to yourself, yeah, this is pretty cool. I want to stay at the 65, or I want to move to the quarterly plan. The quarterly plan is your most economical plan. That's $165 every 3 months. And when you add that all up, let's go down to this screen. Over a year, the monthly plan will cost you $780, which is 65 times 12. The quarterly plan is $165 every 3 months, or $660 for the year. $780 minus $660, you're saving another $120 besides the $99 setup fee we're getting rid of for you. So what the smart agents do is they say, yeah, I'll try it out for 65 bucks. So on the right-hand side there, you'll see you could start for $65, and I'm going to email everybody an order form. Start at 65, and at the end of the first month, if I don't prove to you that this thing is going to be a slam dunk, you can walk away and get your money back in the first month, okay? That much we know is that agents know they need to do this kind of follow-up, but they just don't do it. There's always something else you can do, okay? But this is you guys hiring us to do the best possible job at making you that advocate. So the quarterly plan at 165 comes out to 660, saves you 120. But cash flow wise, the 65 deal is a lot better, okay? So $65 out of pocket to make this thing work. And then at the end of that 30 days, stay at 65 or move to the 165 and save even more money. Okay. So we're making it to where we think it's obviously easy to absorb. For $65 to try this out. If it doesn't work, you get your 65 back, right? I don't need you telling your franchisee that you got ripped off by a exit premier partner. That doesn't happen. Okay. And we get thrown out of the club. That doesn't happen either. So the quarterly plan, no setup fee, 165. This is all going to be on a PDF order form I'm going to send you by email shortly. We'll get into some questions now. But again, we're asking you to commit at 65. Make sure this thing works, or you don't have to pay another nickel on this one, okay? So this is way beyond what we do with other companies that we work with. Sometimes we get that setup plan down to 50 or 60 bucks. Exit said, just wipe it out. Our agents don't like paying setup fees. So that's the extent as to which we're asking you to make that commitment, $65 one time, and then we're gonna build you a brand new database. That's got more value in it than $65 right there. And if it's something you don't know how to do is build databases and Excel pivot charts, we're going to do all that for you. So let's go back and have some questions now. If anybody wants to unmute and talk about anything on the program, we've got, I'm sorry, go ahead there. Who's that, please?
This is Mo.
Hey, Mo, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm all right. What's your question, Mo?
So I think that's awesome. You built a database. I really need to have stuff like you said everywhere. But if I choose to do the 1 month and then decide it's not with me, do I get to take that database with me?
Oh yeah, you always own your database, Mo. We do not. We just nurture it for you. And that's going to be written on the order form, okay, in the fine print.
Okay.
But trust us, you get, not only do you get your money back, we do give you your database back also, okay? So at minimum, you're going to have a clean database to do anything you want with it if you cancel.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Updating your database,
Yeah.
because you're talking continuously to new people all the time.
Mhm.
And so how does that process work?
Do you currently have a CRM that you put people in right now?
No,
No. Okay, so you just put them on a spreadsheet or something like that?
pretty much.
So I can tell you're unorganized, right? You can see why I'm asking you these questions. Yes, you could put people in your database 24/7, one at a time, or submit a list or send us a list and just say, hey, Al, in the last week I met 10 people. Can you put them in? We'll do that for you. And then, of course, once they get in, they become exclusive to you. Down the road, if you ever start using a CRM, customer relationship management platform, we're going to be embedded with those things because of some new tools we're bringing online at the end of August. But for right now, we'll go anywhere you have those contacts, export them, clean them up, put them in the database, build you a professional grade database, then show you how to increase it, right? Because the biggest thing, your biggest economic investment in your career is your database. It's not your Range Rover, it's not your Escalade, it's your pipeline, because that's where all the money's going to be down the road. Did that answer your question, sir?
10-4.
All right, thank you. Next question, please.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Could you put that screen or that slide back on that has your text?
Oh,
number on it?
okay. Yeah, let me get right. I just got about 15 texts, by the way, but it's right here. 570-510-3507. This is the coolest report you've ever seen in your career. Okay. A lot of MLSs give you some kind of data like this, but it's ugly and it's MLS data. It's not easily read or shared. What we do is we put all this software on top of all the MLSs and all the databases, and we pull all this information for you. So when you say to somebody, I'm a neighborhood expert, you can prove it now because they could challenge you and just pull out, grandma's address in Kansas City. We've got it. Okay. Yeah, just got 4 more. So yeah, we'll send, I'll have somebody jump on these reports and send them to you back by email later on this afternoon. Next question, please. All good questions, by the way. Thank you very much. But again, it comes down to what's it going to cost to get into here and how do I know it's working? If you don't feel it working or the potential of it working in the first month or two, you walk away, right? I don't want to take your money if it's not going to work. Or if you could find only 20 email addresses it's not going to work. Okay, please don't buy my program. But if you've got 100, 150, 200, the average agent using our program has 515 contacts. Okay, many of them have been collecting emails for years, just never did anything with it. We come along, boom, we're going to nurture those 515 or your 400, 300, 200, whatever you have. Okay, because that's our job. That's what we get paid to do. Nurture relationships for you because you don't have the time to do it right. Or I don't think you have the time to do it right. Next question, please. Anybody else out there? Can I have some comments about the $65? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's doable? Tell me whether I'm, pie in the sky.
You're saying if we don't have at least 100 emails, then we should not
Yeah.
do it.
Don't please don't do this. It may work for you. They'll see some emails, but you're not going to see the expansive pipeline that we want to build for you, unless and many times you think you might have 50 email addresses, but when we go into your Gmail and export all those contacts, you just picked up another 150. So don't, unless we talk, and you don't, if you want to talk to me first, that's fine. We'll go and look at all the places where you think you might have contacts. You don't have to sign up for it. I'll be able to work with you, and we'll ascertain that number of data points you have, and we'll get it in the system if you want. If you want to join, then fine. But every agent underestimates the number of contacts they have. Trust me on that one. So you can call me, and we will go into all your locations. You probably have a Gmail account. Does your phone back up to the cloud? Do you have contacts in the MLS, maybe in Zillow? We get them all out. Next question, please. Anybody else out there, huh? All right, so I'm going to send everybody a order form. Can you guys just tell me down in your chat box whether you're thinking about signing up for this? Because I'll put some time aside this afternoon and tonight to start building that database for you. So if you could type in, okay, Corey, thanks for doing that. Mo, thank you very much. And I've got some other addresses here of people that want the report. Nick Thompson, we're going to pull up Rich Avenue in Spokane for you. Yes, I can. All right, looking good. So everybody, if you want me to work with you, I will, as president of the company, I'll take you under my wing and make sure this works for you. Okay, because that implies that I'm going to be able to log into all your locations and get all your email addresses. We're going to do that together. Okay, and then we're going to go into the next location, We're going to keep drilling until we get every email address we possibly can. Because if I could nurture an email address that turns into business for you, that you had stuck in some database 3 years ago, you never called them, I did my job. That's what I like to say is I did my job. And the way I know I did my job is so many agents have our program year over year. Okay. Now, I can't tell you how many houses you're going to sell this year. Like every other marketing program will say, oh, I'm going to increase your income 40%. Well, not 38%, not 42%, 40%. Where'd you get that from? I'm going to build relationships with every email address we get your hands on. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Now, are all those people buying a house today, tomorrow, next month? No, you know that. This is a branding tool. But are people going to come out of the woodwork because you haven't talked to them in years? Sure are. Okay. I just can't tell you exactly when. So yes, we've got all the tools. We've got hand holding. You're going to know me on a first name basis, because what I'm really after is you telling your franchisee that this thing is sizzling and is going to help you. Because at the point that we have this thing sizzling for you, you don't have to worry about every other agent in the country buying this, because you already have your email addresses in and protected, right? So that's what we're about is making sure that you got this as a slam dunk, and you tell other people about it. You get free months. There's a whole program behind this. But I will reach out to everybody that reaches out to me today, and we'll get all your answers, your questions answered. And there's about 15 or 20 more that registered that didn't show up. We're going to do one-on-ones with them. But I'm so in love so far with our relationship we have with Exit, because there's nobody in the Exit system in the back-end toolbox that's got what we have. And that's why Exit wanted us in. So if there aren't any more questions, let's go chat. Let's go back to whatever happened to my, there we are. We don't have anything in the Q&A, that's fine, we'll just keep it in chat. Okay, any more questions, please? Anything about social media? Anything about, Corey, you got a question there? You're allowed to talk, go ahead.
I think, I don't know if I missed this, but everything is branded to me, correct?
Correct, yeah, well, by law, the exit, exit of whatever Spokane, it has to be at the top somewhere on there. But this is your picture, your contact information. Your franchisee has no idea how many members you have, who they are, okay? They just eventually want to bring me into the office to make sure that the agents are doing a good job of following up, right? That's what the franchisees are interested in. Because when you think about it, if a couple agents sell a couple more houses every month or two because of this, everybody wins. Right, so this is all 100% yours. Again, your franchisee, owner, broker, whatever you want to call it, has no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
And did you say it could be connected with your CRM if you have one?
Yeah, are you using one of the big CRMs now?
I am.
Which one is it?
Think.
Sync, okay, yeah, at the end of August, we're going to be able to quote sync with your sync database, and all the people that are, all the contacts that are in sync can go in HomeActions, and all the contacts we create for you in HomeActions can go back into sync. Happens like every 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so, but for right now, until that functionality is built, we can go into sync and export 20 minutes from now.
Okay.
Okay, and get those in and get them protected. When we say protected, I mean exclusive to you.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Corey, thank you very much. Next question, please.
Albert, are
Yes,
these going
sir.
to be, is this going to be recorded that we can see again
Sure is.
and it'll get emailed to us, or
Yeah, I can even, let me write that down. Who's speaking, please?
Nick Thompson?
Nick. Okay. Nick, are you a franchisee?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, Nixon, yeah, I'm gonna have it, it'll be processed in about an hour. I'll send it to you as a link. It'll be on YouTube.
Great, thank you.
All right. Anybody else want a copy of the program? If you do, you can email me later on, that's fine. But again, I'm gonna send everybody a order form now. Let's get this thing going if you want to do it. I'm eager to get our first bunch, because the HQ at Exit's gonna call me today and say, how did the webinar go? So I'd love to be able to say, hey, 6 or 7 are doing it right now. So they may, call you someday for a survey or something like that. You don't have to listen to them, but the idea is they want to know how well this is working for the agents, because we're going to be at all the events throughout the whole country. And we're going to, so far they've been very supportive. Next question, please. Anybody else left that has a question? Corey, good question from you. Kathleen Lauer, you've been awfully quiet. That's all right. Lisa, you too. Okay, so just throw something in the chat window there. I'm going to send these order forms out now, and then just give me a call this afternoon if you got time to play. We might be able to have most of your database put together tonight, certainly tomorrow. I'm around all day tomorrow. Then we talk about content, what goes in your first launch, a welcome article, hopefully that RPR, all those really cool hyperlocal reports. We're going to put in the consumer product safety recalls from yesterday. That'll be in today's newsletter. Okay, so it's great content. It's intelligence on what's going on inside of your database, pipeline building, and more importantly, protecting. So if there aren't any more questions, okay, Kathleen, I'll send you that as well. Thank you. All right, Ellen, no problem. And Bill, yep, we'll get those out to you today. So, I mean, I've got more time. If anybody's got a question, you want to go off mute and ask it, that's fine. If you want to, so what'll happen is if you do subscribe, you can just call me on my phone numbers on the order form. You can just call me and we do it over the phone. You don't have to worry about scanning and filling it out and all that stuff. We can take the orders. I got order forms right here, and then I call you back in about an hour and we start building that database, right? Because from what it sounds like, nobody on this call has got one. You have a database, but it's in 10 different places. It's not in one place. Okay, Nick, you all right? That's it then?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, well, let's have some fun, and I appreciate your consideration of joining this. And like I said, it's exclusive. You've never seen anything like it. You have to trust me on that one. And you also have to trust Exit because they went through all of our systems and everything else and verified that we can deliver this kind of value.
Sounds good. I'm just not sure I have enough email addresses yet.
Nick, then give me a call and I'll start asking you questions and we'll look and see where they are, right? Do you have an Gmail account, Nick?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody that ever emailed you in Gmail or you have ever emailed is a contact. We get that out in like 30 seconds. And you're going to
Okay.
say, wow, I didn't know I had 300 in there. There's got to be somebody in there that represents some down the road business, right? For 300 people. I'm not saying you have 300, but my point is call me in a half hour and we'll log in and I'll tell you what buttons to push. And anybody else, you're welcome to do that. If you think you don't have enough emails to get this going, I'm telling you, you probably do. And if we could only find 30 or 40, we're not going to do it, obviously. But at least you're comforted in knowing you didn't have that. But for those of you out there with a Yahoo account, with a Gmail, everybody that ever touched you've ever touched in that system is a contact, and we can get that out. Okay. Still got 6 people left. You guys are diehards. Waiting for a time to ask a good question. It's right now. Nick, you got good. Kathleen, no other questions from you. Artie, any questions?
No, just one. Our office utilizes Boomtown platform for lead generation. Would you
Right.
be able to, I guess, export all of the?
Sure can.
Okay, very good.
And then we could do that every 2 weeks, and then probably in 3 weeks we'll have integration with a
Okay,
program. It's called, maybe you don't know what it is, but it's called Zapier, which is going to allow all these real estate databases to talk to other databases. We're going to be one of those 2,000 databases that are interconnected.
that's really good.
Yeah. Okay, Artie, thank you. Artie, where are you calling from?
South Carolina.
Okay, my brother lives in Columbia. I don't know how far that is.
Yeah, I am actually in Columbia. Our brokerage is Exit Real Estate Consultants, and our office is in Lexington, which is about 15 minutes drive from here.
Oh, okay.
Basically on the other side of Lake Murray.
Okay, how many agents in the office?
I started in February. At that time, we had 79, and I believe we're at 86 now.
Are you the franchisee?
No,
No. Are you in management or are you an agent?
agent.
Okay, that's fine. Because what I want you to do is to go crazy about this and tell everybody else in the office about it. And then you end up getting 2 free months for everybody you refer to us.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. And then I see with your enthusiasm, you might be able to get this for a year for free or something like that, but you're going to help with other agents that couldn't make the call.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, Artie, I'll follow up with you on that one. Next
Yeah.
question,
So
please. Oh,
what
sorry, go ahead.
happens from here? We just wait for you to send the sign-up information?
Yeah, I'm going to send you the sign-up information and you can pick up the phone. Let me put my phone number back up there, okay? And you guys can call me, and all I need is a credit card over the phone. So let's go back to close that window, close that one. We're going to go back to,
But is there anything we could look at before, like, to go?
oh, no,
through
you
this
can go to
again?
HomeActions.net right now, and there's all sorts of examples and other brands we work with. There's pricing that's much higher than what I'm telling you on the program here, because we have to offer that preferred pricing to exit agents. But there's lots of testimonials there. I believe I sent everybody a testimonial about an hour before the show here, with somebody from the Exit Green team in Louisville, Kentucky, I think. Her name is Julie Green, and she did a great 4-minute testimonial, and she just read her brains. She didn't have a script, and she's been using our program for 4 years, and it says it's been a game changer for her team. She has 6 people on the team. They're all funneling leads in. We have about 2,600 emails going out every 2 weeks for that team. Okay. So my phone number is down the bottom of the screen there, 570-510-3507. And literally just call me. Credit card, best deal is $65. Keep it for a month, which is 2 newsletters, then decide what you want to do. So you have lots of options, and you're going to be able to rely on me to make sure that they're smart options. Okay, all
Okay. Yeah,
right,
thank you
Nick,
so
any other
much.
questions from you?
No, I think I'm good right now.
All right, let me, then let's shut it down then. I want to thank you again for taking time out of your busy day. And,
Sure, you bet.
or yeah, check your email right now in about 2 minutes. And then we'll go from there, and just pick up the phone and call me with any questions at all. So
Sounds
again,
good.
thanks again, Nick and Corey and Artie, and we'll see you next time we do one of these. And by then you'll be up and running, and you're gonna say, yep, that Albert guy, he told me what to do, we did it. And then we now have a game plan moving forward. So thanks again from Home Actions for sticking around for a half hour here. And we'll see you on the other side, and waiting for your phone call. Thanks
All
again,
right.
guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Too.